Hi gorgeous, it's Joanna Sosa and welcome back to my channel. So yes, I'm back. I know I've been gone for a while and I have a reason for that. As you guys been watching my videos, you guys did know that I was pregnant before. I'm not pregnant anymore. I finally gave birth to my baby girl, which I'm so happy that she is finally here. And I just wanted to share my labor delivery, just like my whole experience with you guys. Want to update you guys a little bit about my personal life and what's been going on with me. So if you want to keep watching this video and enjoy this short little chit chat with me, then just keep on watching. And as always, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, like it, make sure you hit the little bell so you are notified every time I do upload a new video. Let me just give you a little summary of my pregnancy. I had a very smooth pregnancy. If you guys haven't seen my previous pregnancy videos, I have like some information of what's been going on with me from like my morning sickness and everything. But jumping on from all that and going on to my third trimester, I have to say I had a very smooth third trimester. Like the only complaint that I really did have was the fact that she was so low, like down in my pouch area. I feel so much discomfort every single day, and I was peeing literally like almost every 5 minutes. I'm not even lying, like every 5 minutes I was in the bathroom. I had a lot of Braxton hits during my end of my trimester. I was always hungry, just normal pregnancy symptoms, but Braxton hits and her being so down low must have been my main complaint. And the fact that she moved so much when she was inside my stomach, like extremely so much, like she was always moving. And which is good that she was active, so not like I'm complaining, I'm just giving you guys like a little, little thing that happened for my pregnancy. The day before I gave birth, I do have a 5-year-old right now. Just my luck, he got sick. I'll say 2 days before I actually gave birth. The day before I gave birth, I think he's like okay to go to school, because it wasn't like he was like so extremely sick. Also, I got my son ready for school. My friend, she actually dropped off my son at school. She dropped him off at school. Then after that, I did my normal thing. I ate some breakfast. I actually went to my boyfriend's house that morning. It was just a casual day at his house. We did a little something. Like my whole pregnancy, I was like, no, I don't want to. Like I just felt like she was gonna get hurt, to be completely honest. So I think that's what triggered my labor, I guess you could say, when I was with him that day, because a very casual day. And honestly, that day too, I felt so tired. I went to go pick up my son when it was time for him to get picked up from school. Picked him up, and all I can remember is just feeling so like tired and so drowsy, and just like I just wanted to sleep that day. But obviously I couldn't sleep because I had a sick 5-year-old. Like I said, it was a very casual day besides him being sick. So that night I started to feel what I thought was Braxton Hicks. I guess they weren't, or they was. I'm not even sure, to be completely honest. I started to feel like light contractions. One thing that I could say is once I was in my pajamas, everything laying down, and for some reason when I was laying down, I was just on my phone, just on social media, watching YouTube videos, whatever, and my stomach, when I tell you, my stomach, it literally looked like a wave pool. Like my stomach went like whoosh. I got so scared, to be completely honest, because not even with my son I seen something like this. It literally looked like my whole stomach shift, like her body twirled or whatever it was. Which I'm confused because her head was already down from what the doctors told me in my ultrasounds and everything. I don't know what that was. Till this day I don't know what that was, but that is something that did happen that night. And that night also started to feel like very light contraction. It wasn't nothing that was any different from the ones I've been feeling these past few weeks, or the ones I've been feeling overall. Okay, so the day of, which is October 1st. So October 1st, I wake up, I actually made an appointment for my son to get checked by his doctor. So his appointment was at 10 o'clock. We woke up around like, I forgot, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I made him something very light to eat. I didn't want to give him anything too heavy because of the fact that he wasn't feeling good, and the fact that plus he didn't want to eat anything too heavy anyway. So I made him a very light breakfast. I made myself something to eat really fast. So I got him ready to go to the doctor. From the moment that I woke up to the moment that I left of getting him ready and everything to go to the doctor's, I at least felt 2 contractions. It had to be like 2-3 contractions, and this is when I put 2 and 2 together, like okay, today must be the day. Like these like contractions that I'm feeling seem way stronger than the ones I was feeling throughout my whole pregnancy. So I kind of got a little shook. I still feel like I'm getting goosebumps just telling you guys this, but yeah, I felt a little shook, and I'm like, okay, like this must be the day that I'm going into labor. I started telling everybody, like, we have like a little family chat. So I told everybody in my family chat, I'm like, you know, I'm starting to feel contractions. Like, I think today must be the day. Everybody's like, oh yeah, today must be the day, or tomorrow. I'm keeping everybody updated throughout the day. Just remind you, keeping everybody updated in my family and all my loved ones of what's going on with me throughout my day. So I took my son to the doctor, signed him in, whatever. I'm very close with his doctor and everybody that works there. Not extremely close, but we are very close. Like, they know me, we conversate and everything. Me and the doctor have like a great relationship. Like, sometimes he even uses me an example for his patients just because of just other stories that's very off topic. While I was waiting for my son to get checked at the doctor's, I was sitting there and honestly I had to feel like another 2 contractions, but they were very far apart. Now I must say they were probably 15-20 minutes apart. This is when my contractions started to get stronger, and when I was there I was really like, ow, like, and they came up to me, they're like, are you okay, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, because knowing me, if you know me, I'm the type of person that if I'm in extreme pain or I'm in some type of pain, I don't like to let people know. Basically, I don't like to let people know how I really feel. I like to have my feelings, basically, the way I feel, my pain and everything. And that's something that unless you really know me, you won't really know that. I mean, my boyfriend does try to help me express myself in a better way, but anyways, that's off topic. And I'm like, no, I feel fine, just a little pain here and then. So I got into the room finally with my son, and I'm waiting for the doctor to check him. I felt another contraction, but this time it was very mild. Like, it was just like, oh, like, ow. Like, it wasn't as strong as the ones by waiting for me to actually get to the room. And my son gets checked and everything. The doctor tells me what to do. He prescribes me some medicine. I actually told his doctor too, I'm like, because he kind of seen how I looked and like how drowsy and tired I was, and he asked me, he was like, oh, when do you go into labor? And I'm like, hopefully today or tomorrow, because the way I've been feeling, I feel like I'm feeling contracting. Like, I'm gonna see you today or I'm gonna see you tomorrow, I bet you, because he is the doctor that goes to the hospital and checks the newborn babies. So he was like, okay, I'll see you, laughing, joking. They didn't think I was serious. That's that. I end up leaving the doctor's. Now I'm feeling pain, my son is sick. Like, this can't be the best day for me to go into labor. Like, I'm telling you, it was one of those type of sicks that he just likes to sleep, and he was very drowsy and tired. So we got home. Actually, I went to go do some errands that I had to do after that. It was very quick errands that I had to do. After I was done with all that, I went back home, took care of my son, did like a few stuff for my son. He took a nap while I got ready, because I also had my 39 weeks checkup appointment. So I went and got ready. My checkup appointment was for 12:30. When I was getting ready, I probably felt another contraction, but I'm telling you, these contractions were so weird. Like, it was like 35 minutes apart, or in my minutes apart, like 20 minutes. It wasn't very consistent, basically. I felt another like contraction. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, at this point, I'm just like keeping track of it but not paying so much mind to it. On top of that, I wasn't like in a rush. I didn't have that much time to get to the doctor's. I go to the doctor's, I check myself in. You know, my son is laying on me because he's not feeling too good. That whole time, I just remember I was drinking so much water. Like, I had a bottle of water and I just chugged it. Like, that was so weird of me, or it might not even seem like a big deal, but I like chugged my water, and I love my water. And obviously I was drinking plenty of water while I was pregnant, but when I was at the doctor's, I literally drank a whole bunch of water. Like, I just felt so thirsty waiting for me to get called in to go into the room and get checked. Feel like I felt anything the time I was waiting there. Like, I didn't feel any contractions or anything, or what I thought was Braxton Hicks. I got called, I got into the room. You know, they checked my weight, they told me to pee in the cup, the whole 9 yards, the normal setup that they normally have when you go to the doctor. She gives me a gown. She says, you know, strip to the waist down. I do that. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like so tired. Like, I'm almost falling asleep in the chair. My son, he's occupied. He was watching Netflix on my phone, whatever, and I'm waiting for the doctors. And while I was waiting for the doctors, I felt another contraction. Now, this contraction was also light. It was just like an ow. It wasn't anything serious. Like, it was honestly, it felt like a light period cramp. So my doctor came. I told her the whole story. I told her how I've been feeling contractions, or what I thought was Braxton Hicks, and I told her, I'm like, you know I normally complained during my pregnancy of her moving around and this and that and the whole whatever. But this time I actually feel like, you know, like she's coming. Like I've been feeling strong pains, and she told me, you know, if they're 6 minutes apart or if your water breaks, you know, go to the emergency room. Like yeah. So she checks me. When she checks me, I'm 2 centimeters dilated. And when she told me I was 2 centimeters dilated, I was so shook, because last time she checked me and I wasn't dilated at all. So now I'm dilated at 2 centimeters, which is not too much. Sometimes you're dilated for 2 centimeters for like a whole week. So I'm like, whatever, like I might not go into labor yet. So I end up leaving the doctor's. I actually go to Rite Aid to pick up some medicine, because the medicine was finally done for my son. So I pick up the medicine, and I also go and do a few little errands that I had to go do. I had to buy a few stuff. I went downtown, which is like a little shopping area in my city. So I do that. So I went home, and now it's like a casual day. Like, okay, I did everything I had to do today. Now I'm just gonna chillax and see where my day goes. On my phone, taking care of my son, just doing normal things that I would do in my house on a normal day. So it wasn't until, I'll say, 5 o'clock-ish that my contractions started to, or what I thought my Braxton Hicks started to get strong. So at this point I'm like, okay, like today must be the day that I'm gonna go into labor. And I know I sound so stubborn while I'm telling you guys this story, but I just didn't believe that it was time yet. I don't know, like I knew like it was time, but I didn't know it was time, or I just didn't want to believe it, I guess is what I could say. So sorry if I sound a little stubborn. But yeah, it wasn't until like around 5 o'clock that my contractions started to feel stronger and close to each other. So at this point I'm like, let me just download an app, because just so I can make sure that I'm keeping track of my contractions and how far apart they are. So I download an app, I'm keeping track of them. Now I wish I didn't delete that app so I could like insert what it actually looked like. So they're getting stronger and they're getting closer to each other. The pain, if I had to rate the pain from 1 to 10, honestly the pain started off like a 3. Like it wasn't strong. Like it was so weird. I guess that's why I didn't believe it, because with my son, my contractions were so painful that I was there on the floor crying, like completely crying, like in so much pain. I felt like I was dying. This time I was just like, ow, like ow, like I could actually handle the pain, whatever. So they started getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Like I said, when I say stronger, stronger, it's just a little bit stronger. Like it wasn't something like ow, painful, like I just mentioned before, like with my son. I was actually outside with my friend, and she comes out of work, and I'm telling her, like, she asked me how I'm doing. I tell her how I'm feeling. I tell her how I'm feeling pain and whatever. So she's like, oh no honey, you need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, but my pains are not strong. Show her like my app that I had on my phone, and she's like, it doesn't matter if your contractions aren't strong, they're getting close to each other. And I'm like, no, like it's not time yet. Like I'm just like brushing her off. Like, man, she has 3 kids, like I'm brushing her off, like whatever. She actually knows what she's talking about, me being stubborn and not actually believing I'm in labor. Because I was actually in labor at this time without me actually knowing. She's like, okay, whatever. So she's keeping a close eye on me now. Now we're outside. It was a beautiful day, October 1st. I don't know if you guys remember, if you're out here in Jersey. It was a beautiful day. Like it was outside, very casual outside, hanging out. My son, I think he was like taking a nap. He'll come outside too, because it was such a nice day that it was okay for him to come outside. Like it wasn't like, okay, go back inside like you're sick. He was outside. She was vacuuming her car. We was just chit chatting, joking. She was telling me some stories about her pregnancy. And we were just having a normal conversation and everything. And while I was sitting there, I was having contractions. And it wasn't so painful, like I said. And she's like, no, Joanna. Like, see? Those are contractions. I'm like, those are not contractions. Those are Braxton hits. Like, those are Braxton hits. And I'm just like, yeah. Like, she's like, no. Like, you need to go to the hospital. So I'm just having a very casual day around my house. Like, I'm just moving around, enjoying myself. A whole 9 years. The way I was acting, if I was to tell you I was in labor, you'd be like, you're not in labor. But actually I was in labor. But it wasn't until later on during the night, probably like an hour or 2, that she actually convinced me, like, Joanna, you need to go to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, fine. And at this point I really did contact my boyfriend and let him know what was going on. Like I said previously, like, babe, like I need to go to the hospital, like blah the whole 9 yards. Like this is legit, whatever, you know, come out here, because he doesn't live in the same town as me. So he was like, yeah, I'm coming. And I'm over here. I actually went to go take a shower, because I was like, I need to be fresh. My friend, she actually told me, like, you need to go freshen up. And I'm like, yeah, I need to go be fresh for this delivery. So went and took a shower, and I took a shower. Honestly, that's when it hit me. Like, my contractions started to get real strong when I took a shower. I'm over here showering, shaving, whole 9 yards. So I got out the shower, and I'm telling her, I'm like, ow, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. Like it's hitting me strong now. Got ready. My father was actually the one that took me to the hospital. Like, all my stuff that I was taking to the hospital, he put inside his Jeep for me. My friend, she actually stood with my son and took care of him while my dad was out taking me to the hospital. And honestly, I'm so thankful for both of them being there with me, because if they weren't there with me, I don't know what I would do, because the fact that my son was sick, and the fact that I know you cannot drive when you're having contractions, because with my son, I drove while I was having contractions, and I'm surprised I didn't get into a car accident. Now, it was a long story short, it wasn't like I just jumped in the car. It was actually me coming from somewhere, and I had no idea that my contractions were gonna hit. Thankfully, I wasn't that far away from my house. Yeah, I'm very thankful that they were with me. But let me not ramble on, because I could talk forever. After my dad put everything in the car for me, I finally jumped in the car. I gave them instructions in regards to my son, because he was sick. Told my son, bye, I'm leaving, you know, I'm going to the doctors, the baby gonna pop. He's like, okay, mommy, I'll see you soon. He was sick, like he was almost drowsy, falling asleep anyways. My dad was taking me to the hospital. I gave my mom a call, and I did tell her, like, you know, I'm going into labor, you know, come to the hospital. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to come with me, which is kind of upsetting, but I'm in pain, so it just like literally flew my mind, whatever. I got to the ER at 10 o'clock. It was around like 10:06 I got to the ER. They took me right upstairs. Like I told them, like, labor and delivery. Like, I'm in pain. Ow, ow, ow. And my dad's there, like, you know, somebody take care of her. Like, we're over here panicking. So they took me upstairs, put me in a wheelchair, going up. I kind of know how everything is supposed to be, but this is my second baby. The nurse, she gives me the gown, she tells me instructions of what to do. I do that, change into everything, I get into bed. When I got into bed, they started asking me 101 questions. This is when I started getting stuff. Because I'm in pain, and when you're in pain and you're having contractions, you don't want somebody asking you so many questions. Like, they were asking me so many questions. I understand they're trying to register me into the system or whatever, but I was not having these questions. Like, I was in so much pain. It was to a point that they seen that I was getting stuff. Kind of cursing them out in a nice, polite way. I mean, I guess they understood and they're used to it. Now, they checked me and everything, and they asked me, they were like, do you want the epidural? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I'm in pain, I want the epidural. I didn't have a birth plan or anything. Like, I was just winging it, going how it is. Like, I don't like to plan things when it comes to natural stuff. Like, I go as is. I'm prepared for it, but at the moment, I just go as what it is. At this point, everything is going so fast. Like, everything, like, besides the whole day going fast, like, everything is going extremely fast. So nurse came, they checked me. I was at 6 centimeters when they checked me. They were checking me, asking me questions, just preparing the whole room. My boyfriend finally got there. That time too, he's giving me ice because I'm so dehydrated. I didn't even have a chance to suck on my Jolly Rancher. That's how fast everything was going, because I had the labor basically all in my house, casually just thinking I'm not in labor. And so it was finally time for me to push. And before it was time for me to push, there was a whole bunch of nurses there. Actually, one nurse there, I feel bad for her, but I'm so thankful that she was doing this for me. She actually was inside of me with her 2 fingers and stretching me like this. So I'm having contractions and I'm going like this. Now, remind you, this is when I got upset. Like, I know I'm everywhere, but this is when I got upset. I was like, where's my epidural? And they were like, you don't have time to get an epidural. What? I was so upset. I'm like, what do you mean I don't have time for epidural? Like, you don't have time. Like, they cut it real short. Like, you don't have time. So now I'm like, great. I'm not gonna have an epidural. My pain is getting stronger, and I'm trying to fight it. Like, I'm like, I was upset, but I was trying to fight. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll do it natural. Like, it is what it is. I want this baby out. I'm in pain. I'm holding onto the bed. I'm yelling while I'm having the contraction. When I didn't have any contraction, I looked so calm, quiet, collected. Like, I look kind of crazy. They started checking me again. They told me it was time to push. Every time I felt a contraction, I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. After a few pushes, I finally was able to get her out. When she came out, she was actually facing the wrong way. So they told me afterwards, like, you're lucky you didn't have a C-section, because normally women are not able to push the baby out like that. But you were able to do it, like, you're very strong. After that, I was so shook. I'm like, oh, thank God you guys didn't tell me that. Now, pushing a baby with no epidural is so different different from having epidural, because when you have epidural, you just feel pressure. Now, without an epidural, you feel everything. Like, from every time you push, you feel her coming down. Every time you stop pushing, you feel her coming back up. You feel the burn. You feel everything. And honestly, I'm kind of happy that I didn't get an epidural, because I will never forget how that felt. Like, it was precious. Like, if I was to get pregnant again, I would try to go without an epidural, because I love the way it felt. Not like the way I love the way it felt, but it's a feeling I can't really explain to you guys. I will definitely say just try to wing it out and do it without an epidural. Just do it completely natural, because it's so worth it. Like, it's crazy as it may sound and as painful as it might sound, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. So yeah, she was born October 1st, 2019, and she was born at 11:34. So you guys could tell from me getting to the hospital at 10 o'clock, from her being born at 11:35, how fast things were really going for me. I was dying extremely fast. Like, she wanted out, because there was a moment that the nurse said, like, she's pushing out. I think it's when I was 8 centimeters. They were like, she's trying to push her way out. Like, she's like ready. So everything went extremely fast for me. She came out very healthy, very extremely healthy. She came out at 7 pounds and 10 ounces. She was 21.5 inches long. Everything was perfect with her. You know, I was extremely happy when I finally was able to hold her and finally breastfeed her. It was a surreal moment for me and my boyfriend. Like, we were so extremely happy. Like, you could just see it over our eyes how happy we was. Like, this experience was so amazing. The whole time I was at the hospital, I had amazing, outstanding time. I had such a great time at the hospital for my recovery. I had no tears, and I guess that's because the woman was opening me up or whatever the heck she was doing. I had no tears. I had no back pains. Obviously, I was bleeding. I'm not even bleeding like that much anymore. Like, it's okay if I was to wear like a panty liner now. That's how much I'm not bleeding, but I still wear a pad. Basically, my recovery is so amazing. It doesn't even feel like I gave birth 3 weeks ago, compared to how it felt before. When I gave birth to my son, I was in so much pain. You're using the dermoplast to spray myself, I guess, from tears. Overall, how I felt, it was extremely horrible. So that's it for my recovery. My recovery overall is amazing. Like, I love my recovery this time around. At the hospital, it was a great experience. The first night, me and my boyfriend, you know, we had a great time. We laughed. We enjoyed our moments with our newborn baby. He was excellent at the hospital with me. Like, he took good care of us. He was very helpful. Like, anything I needed, he went. Like, he was just so loving, and he made the experience staying at the hospital so great for me. And the only reason why I mention that is because I had some other experiences from my past that wasn't the best, and he made sure I had an amazing time. Like, it was just all laughs and smiles at the hospital. Like, honestly, it really was. I did have a few visitors at the hospital, family. My mother stopped by, my brother stopped by, my sister-in-law stopped by. I had a few people just stop by and see the newborn baby. Overall, everything's good. That's basically my whole labor and delivery story, from what I could think of and from the notes that I have. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but that's basically what I could think of and remember and would like to share with you guys. Whole pregnancy, everything went out so perfect. Like, this pregnancy, I love this pregnancy, and I'm just so happy that my baby girl is here. So I'm happy, my boyfriend's happy, my baby's happy. We're all really happy, and we're enjoying a precious time with our newborn baby. I'm just so happy and so grateful. Like, honestly, I really am. Like, I feel like things could have went wrong in so many different ways, with just like stories that I hear with other women. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this short little story. I just wanted to update you guys a little bit. I don't know, I just feel like she's very young to be on camera, and plus she's waking up too, so that's pretty much it for this video. Don't worry, I might show her in the future videos. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoy my little short, hopefully it was short, labor and delivery story, what happened to me. And so I hope you guys enjoy, and as always, I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, gorgeous.